world of motorcycling and motorcycle building.
Hey! Wow, that was like I was rocking out and hearing the cool tones, and it was then all of a sudden it stopped and I'm back talking to you. That's pretty cool. I got to tell you, folks, one of the great things about doing this is we get some really cool letters from people watching the show, and when we're not writing them ourselves, haha, just kidding. When we're not writing them ourselves, we get some really cool stuff. This is from Daver and Big Al in Vancouver, Canada, and they said the following. Here we go. Hey, Warren and Trash, I was blown away to see that you not only emailed me back, but you actually like what my cousin Big Al and I are building as our first complete build-up from scratch. No kits, no instructions or manuals, just a little common sense and a whole lot of help from our local shops, friends, and guys like you and the Trashmen. Now, this sounds like our kind of build, right? I mean, these guys are starting from, they've got the frames, and they're going to send us pictures of the whole deal. We both started off with 180 200mm Softail frames that are just a little further ahead than the pics really show. I'm sure that you both know how that goes. Get a new piece, take half the bike apart to make the thing fit and work. Laughing out loud. Big Al is going in the old school direction with a 2-over Springer, 180mm rear tire, and a 1979 shovelhead motor, 80 cubic inches. Nice. Still at the shop, should be done shortly. We're both running 16-inch apes and horseshoe oil bags. We were talking about this, I had the oil bag out last night. I was talking to Trash. I said, this would be a great time to put one of those, round bags in there. He's like, why? You got this one in here. It's working great. Nothing's wrong with it. Quit messing with it. Every time you take a damn bike apart, you got to replace half the parts because you want to mess with it. I know. It's a terrible disease, and I have it. I'm going the other way with the hydraulic inverted front end, 200mm rear with the Fat Bob tanks and a 1996 Evo, 80 cubic inches, which is ironically getting put together at a different shop as we speak. I'm going for that lowrider dragger look. I'm getting too old for the backbreakers. Yeah, well, going on the hardtail thing is a little tough these days. Things are progressing along fairly good at the moment. It's been a long haul so far the past couple of years, but what a great learning curve. We're convinced that the best way to learn anything properly is to get in there, get your hands dirty, and make a few mistakes along the way. And that's really true, but let me tell you about making a few mistakes along the way. You're talking about a motor vehicle here that has the capability of going at a real high rate of speed. You better have somebody that knows their shit about one of these bikes. Check it over before you hit that high rate of speed and find out that you didn't put the brakes right together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dissing your idea of going in and learning everything. That's good. That's profound stuff, man. And it's the only really way to get truly in touch. I know this sounds hokey as hell, but to get in touch with the bike. Because, if somebody else put it together, it's always going to be somebody else's bike. If you put it together, it's yours, period. You're going to be the only person who's going to just be able to hear the way that motor's running and go, oh, I know what's wrong with it. Or hear something and go, oh, it's time to change the brake pads. Or, oh, I know this and that. Because you will have put every single bolt in place. You know that motorcycle like nobody else can. But what I'm telling you is your learning idea is great. But get somebody that really knows their stuff to road test the thing for you and make sure that it all seems to be going together right. So you don't do something where you make a little mistake and it turns into a really big mistake. That's all I'm saying. Enough said. That's our big disclaimer. We're going to start putting that at the beginning of the show. Warning, motorcycles are a deadly thing. If you do something really stupid, it's not our fault. And it really isn't. If you put it together and do something stupid, it's your fault. But the deal is, you don't have to have that happen. There's plenty of people out there that will check your bike, be happy to look at it, be happy to work with you on your project. You'll find a myriad of people. If you met a guy like me and Trash at a bike shop and said, hey, I'm building a bike, you want to come over and look at it? Man, I'd be over there in 2 minutes just to check it out. I might see something that some other guy might not see. Trash might see something, And the only other thing that I got about this is, you're going to throw away the manual. Well, don't do that. The manual's got all those things like how many foot-pounds the oil bag bolts are and all this useless information that you only need once in your life. It's there in the book. So don't throw that. You can throw that out in terms of design and in terms of components when you're picking all your own stuff. But in terms of some of the very basic things like, how many foot-pounds does the clutch hub torque to, you need to know that stuff, and that's only going to come in the book. Okay. Let me go back to this. We are currently building both bikes in a little shop 10 feet by 18 feet with basic tools and a lot of determination. You know, that sounds like where we were this weekend. We were in a little half of a garage tearing apart a bike. Now, these guys sent us some great pictures. Let's cue up the happy 4-minute motorcycle, and we'll come back with some great shots. Here we go.
It's time to check out our viewers' creativity in a segment we like to call 4-Minute Motorcycle. 4-Minute Motorcycle.
Right, 4-minute motorcycle. I like the music in the background. It was like Metallica on crack. What was that? Some famous band, or was that somebody that plays around? Is that you? That's not you? I want. One of these days, I'll tell him. It's what? Corvettes. It's the No, it's not the Corvettes. That's what you're hearing when we're always starting this show up. By the way, is the Corvettes. Let's see if we can get Trash on here. Looking at these pictures too. What we have here is what they call gathering of parts. You know, picture number 1. What we're looking at here, you know, we got some split fat bobs. We got a soft tail frame. That's the one he was talking about, the soft tail unit. And he's got a Springer front end. It's all lying on what looks like carpet, which is good. You know, it really gets me when people send me these pictures of nice chrome stuff, and it's on a cement or concrete. It's like, what are you doing throwing chrome on concrete? You know. Let's go to the next picture. Okay, here's what he's doing is he's mocking up my 9-inch rear fender and struts, still in progress. This is an interesting procedure that sort of happens. On my bike, I ended up taping spark plug boxes to the wheel and then putting the fender over the top of it to keep it a specific distance away all the way around. What you can see he's doing here is he's mocking up the brace that's going to hold the fender in place. It's going to look really cool. He's making this stuff out of cardboard. Obviously, he's going to, obviously that's not what he's going to use. If you're going to take this to a guy who does welding and does fab and say, hey, build me this. This is how it's got to look, and this is kind of how it's got to feel. Let's go to the next one. And what do we got? Number 3, fitting up my Milwaukee Iron Dash. Yeah, this is a pretty good picture.
I can't hear Jock.
Oh, you can't hear me, Trash? I hope you can.
There you are.
Oh, here I am. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing all right, I guess. I'm still wrestling with this chat room thing. I've lost it. I don't know where it's at.
Well, anyway, there's a couple of people hanging out in there. Can you see the pictures we're looking at here?
Yeah, I sure can.
Oh, good. Let's chat about these for a while then, eh?
It looks like they've got a project going that they're pretty well under control right now. I don't know how far they're going to go with it themselves, but shit, they got a good start.
Well, yeah, that's what this is. Daver and Big Alf. There's some guys from Canada who always check out the show, and they sent us some stuff before, and they're both building these bikes together. One guy's going with an old school Springer's type, and the other guy's going with an inverted front end with more of a dragger look. But they're sort of building them side by side. Interestingly enough, both with 16-inch apes on the front with the different front ends, and both with 80 cubic inches motors. One being a pan shovel or a shovel head, 1979 shovel head, and the other doing a 1996 Evo. So different motors.
I'm looking at a shot of looks like the rear end of a soft tail frame here. Have you moved the shot at all? The next picture.
Let's go to the next picture. Let's go to number 4. There he is, fitting up the dash on this, and